Hey y'all, so today was the first day of classes, so that's why I'm so quick at getting this video out to you all. I'm actually not sitting in the kitchen this time like I was in the last video. I'm actually sitting in my bedroom. I would show you more of it, but it's kind of, well, it's a bedroom. So you can infer from that. It's a triple, so I'm actually sitting on my bed. The bed you see in the background is actually another bed, and there's a bed next to it. So it's not huge, but it is definitely big enough for three people. And I don't know if I said this in the last video, but this place feels very homey. Some upgrades could be done to it, if you ask me. Paint, carpet, things like that. But it's very homey for the UNC people who are watching. It's very much like Odom Village. If you're not from UNC, Odom Village is an apartment complex on campus that is old. It's got to be about 40, 50 years old. But it's very homey. At least if you ask me. But a lot of people say, ooh, it's in the middle of nowhere. Ooh, it's this, ooh, it's that. It was old, this, that, and third. But I think it's very homey. And I feel the same way about these apartments that we're staying in. So, as I said at the very beginning, today was the first day of classes over at City University. Um, Registration was very interesting, to put it that way. It was a little bit of confusion. We had a time registering, but when it was all over, I ended up registering for a news, radio, and features class. This all bundled up into one class. I registered for visual journalism, which I know photography is a big part of it. In fact, the class that meets either tomorrow or Thursday, gotta check on that, is actually a photo editing workshop, so I'm looking forward to that. I also signed up for international news, which I'm really excited about, and I also signed up for a political and current affairs class, which I'll get into that later. Um, After I registered, I had a couple issues with my key, so came back and got my key figured out. And I keep looking down because my notes I wanted to talk about are sitting in my lap. But yeah. After registration, I came. No, yeah. After registration, excuse me. After registration, before the key, signed up for our computer access and got our student IDs. And walking around the university, it's very, very different than UNC. It's very, very, very compact, whereas UNC spreads over acres and acres and acres. Literally, all of City University is contained in probably about 3 or 4 blocks. Literally. Yet they say they have about 21,000 students, I think. I don't know how it happens. I guess because the classes are once a week. Different people take different classes. But I'm still like, how can all these classes fit in 3 or 4 blocks of space? But that's not my question to answer. I don't know the answer to that. But walking around, I guess because it's so compact, everything's in these buildings, everyone is walking from classroom to classroom to classroom. And to me, I'll be honest, it felt like being in high school all over again. It was all these people walking, and it was crowded. It was like high school minus the bell system, which to me was it kind of got me, because I'm like, okay, I'm in college, yet I'm feeling like I'm in high school. But I mean, people do things differently in different countries, so I can't slam it. But it definitely took me aback. But we did get our computer access and got my little ID card and all that good stuff, and had the first class of the day, which was the political and current affairs I spoke of a couple minutes ago. So for me, I actually almost got there late because I walked to the wrong building. But since, as I said, City University is only 3 or 4 blocks, it was a quick walk to the correct building. And I got in the class and, once again, felt like I was in just a massive high school class. It was probably about 50 to 60 people. But everyone was talking. It wasn't like an auditorium. It kind of reminded me of maybe a political science class at UNC. The only difference was everyone just looked like they came out of Saved by the Bell, which once again took me back. Can't slam it. It's not my country. It's not my culture. Can't slam it. But it seemed very much like I was on Saved by the Bell. Because people looked like they were dressed out of the 80s, early 90s, and things like that. And that's just the style. And also, everyone looked older. Though this was a first year class, everybody looked more grown than I am, and I'm 21 in my 3rd year of college. Now, granted, here it's a 3-year program. In the U.S., it's a 4-year program. I'm not sure exactly how the ages match up, but I wouldn't think that someone in their first year of college would be 21, 22. And I know I look young and little to be 21, but yes, I am 21. But yeah. About the class. So the teacher actually lectured about the houses of Congress. And it was very interesting. It was very, very interesting. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. He lectured about the houses of, not Congress, houses of Parliament, House of Commons and the House of Lords, and how the House of Commons is actually more powerful than the House of Lords, which I did not know until today. I actually thought it was the opposite, and actually in the past it was the opposite. But yeah, they were talking all through the class, which I thought was really weird. Students were just talking and talking and talking, which once again made me feel like I was in high school. But we got through it. It ended up really well, kind of, sort of. I actually was kind of falling asleep, but the content was actually really, really interesting. But I'm hoping that everything gets better. It really threw me for a loop. So we'll see what happens. Tomorrow is a 2nd year's course. So it's going to be a course full of 2nd years versus 1st years. So that may make a difference. I think, well, actually, I'm not even sure if it's the correct one. If it is the correct one, it is a 2nd year's course. But it actually might be a 1st year's course again. But we'll see what happens. Also, I am in the process of searching for a church right now. I think I'm going to end up going to an African Methodist Episcopal church. They have a whole bunch of those here. So I think I'm going to go to that because that's closest to what I am used to out of a black church in the United States. So I'll keep you updated on that. So as I said, first day classes was very interesting, but we'll see what happens. So talk to y'all later. In the meantime, pray for me and I'll be praying for y'all.